Let us now move on to the explanation of the poem. Let's read the first stanza again. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. The poet starts with the verb tell. So he starts in a very imperative manner, and it seems as if he is instructing us to do something. So he says, do not tell me that life is numbered and it's just a fake dream. Someday we'll wake up and everything else would be dreadful in reality. But because on his perspective, that is not true. He says that don't tell, that he thinks that the soul, anybody who sleeps day and night, who does not live his life, he is already dead. He does not need to live. And things are not what they seem means that when you see things around you and you think everything is dreadful, everything would be dreadful to you. But you need to have a positive outlook, because once you are happy seeing the things around you, happiness comes to you. Next he says, life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Now he says he is in a hurry, as if he wants to explain it to you something, as if he wants you to abide by his instructions. He says life is real. It is not dreadful or fake or a dream, as you thought in the above stanza. He says it is earnest and death is not its goal. Rather, striving and achieving our goal is our real aim in life and not death. He next says that it is said that we were made out of dust and we will go back to dust when we die. But then he says that this was said of the body and not of the soul. We can also interpret from here that he believes in a higher power, that a soul exists in each one of us which stays even after our body dies. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Now we all know that anything in extreme is bad. So he says we should not live our lives in extreme enjoyment, that we are always happy. And neither should we always complain and be sad about it. Rather, we need to have a balance of both equally, of enjoyment and sorrow. And then only we will be able to lead a happy life. He says that every tomorrow we should strive to be the better person. We should be the better of ourselves than what we were yesterday. Next stanza is, art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. Next he says that art is like our work, okay, and time is the time we have on earth. So our work is long and we need to work towards it tireless, towards our goals. And we don't have that much time on earth. First he said that you need to work and a death is not a goal. But now he is saying that you have a numbered days, your time is limited here, so make the most out of it. He is urging you here. And then he says, when you think about death, you get scared. You know, like when we have funeral marches, when the bodies are taken for funeral, the funeral drums are played. And when you think about death, your heart beats in such a manner that it also seems like the funeral drums are being played. So do not be scared of death. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Next he says, he compares the world to a battlefield. And he says that each one of us are troops who have been sent to this battlefield, and bivouac is the temporary tents that have been set up. Okay, and we have been sent to these temporary tents to make the most out of life. Now he says, here we can either fight along with the rest of the troops and be like every one of them, or we can lead the battle and be a hero. And he does not want us to be aimless in life and be like driven cattle, which do not have any direction in life. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Again, he reiterates the power of the God Almighty, and then he says that don't trust any future. Your future might be good, your future might be bad, you might not have any future at all. And don't think about the past because it's long gone. You cannot bring it back, you cannot correct your mistakes, you cannot right your wrongs. What you can do is you can do better in your present, because your present will shape your future and it will make it better. So he says just act in the living present. Next, lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sand of time. Now, please note that he does not give you any achievements of the great men. Rather, he is using the word great men as a general term. So, he says that the great men have done a lot of things. Okay, and when we see them, when we think of their acts, when we get inspired from them and do them, then that would make our lives more happy. And when they leave, their acts and what they have done, their work, keeps them alive through time. Although their bodies have gone, but their name still lives on with their work, and that is their footprints on the sand of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take heart again. Now he is talking about your works, the works that you will leave behind, which will transform into greatness, which will make your name live through the sands of time. Now he says that somebody else, when he says a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, he basically means some devastated person who has lost all hope in life. He says such a person might get inspired from your work, and he might take up the work, and he might take heart again and get inspired, motivated, and move on in life with hope. Let us then be up and doing with heart of any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. So he says to someday live on the sands of time and to inspire somebody someday. Let's work. Let's keep working, and we don't know what will happen next, right? Even in the Bhagavad Gita, it is written that do not just do your karma and do not think of the fate. Similarly, the poet says that do not think what will happen. Do not think if you will reap the benefits and the fruits or not. Just do your work and do it relentlessly, do it tirelessly, and do not be callous about it. Because when you keep working, you make yourself better, and growth is what life is all about.